Hey everyone, I'm Audius Wolf, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. I know I'm starting at just the teeniest tiniest bit late, and I swallowed my toast roll apparently. Anyway, we just finished Stormblood, and we are getting into the patch content now. Oh my god. Well, I need to stop coughing. Okay. This is just what I get to deal with today, apparently. But anyway, we have 4.1 to get through, so Lise, hello. What are we doing?
Come to see how we're getting on?
Yes. What is happening?
We've made good progress since we took back Alamigo, but there's one big issue we still have to address.
And that is...
leadership. The Domans had Lord Hien ready and willing to take the throne, but we've got no one like that here.
That is true.
Theodoric was our last ruler, and he wasn't called the Mad King for nothing.
Suffice it to say, our people have had their fill of kings, which means we need to find a new way forward.
Naturally.
If only it were that easy. Everyone and his uncle has an opinion. For the time being, we're just going to have to keep leaning on General Aldin and the Alliance for support, and see if we can't find a solution together. Something tells me we're going to be hosting a lot of meetings in the near future.
Why am I not surprised?
But if that's what it takes, I'm ready to talk till my jaw aches.
Okay, Lise. You have fun with that.
The reach is yours, Nago. Don't do anything I wouldn't.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Ah, there you are. I've been searching all over for you.
Hello, Erinvold. How are you?
Don't worry, it's nothing bad. That said, this might not be the best place to talk. Will you join me? I'll get to the point. Might you be interested in a spot of adventure? After all, we were adventurous before we were scions, were we not?
That is true, we were. Yes.
After routing the Imperials and liberating Alamigo, I reckon we've earned a bit of respite, don't you? And what better way to spend it than by returning to our roots? So, what say you? Shall we call on Alphino and go adventuring?
Yes, let's do it. Twist my arm, why don't you? Right then, let's go and find Master Levier. Actually, leave that to me. I want you fresh for our little adventure. Wait for us by the Aetheryte and we'll be along shortly. See you there. Adventure. Adventure. Alright. You know, after everything we've had to go through, I'd say we've earned a little adventure. Isn't that right, Tiny Thinker? Here we are. Greetings, Kaharu. It would seem we are to accompany Ervald into some manner of escapade. Do you have any idea what we've gotten ourselves into? I have no idea. Allow me to explain. It will be something of a history lesson, but I'll try to be brief. No snoring, if you please. Now, the events I would speak of occurred before the occupation, back when Alamigo was still a monarchy and Theodoric sat the throne. A uniquely brutal despot, by all accounts. That he was. The King of Ruin suffered no rivals, real or imagined, and his dispute with the monks of the Fist ended with Robbers Ridge being burned to the ground. Ooh, oh dear. In the latter years of his rule, he was seized by the unshakable belief that unseen forces were conspiring to steal his crown, and so he ordered that every soul with a claim to the throne be executed, including his own family. Whoa. Oh yeah, he was a bad king, wow. The wealth of the poor sods he put to death became the property of the king, and it said that these royal treasures were hoarded somewhere in the palace. Thus was born the legend of the Mad King's Trove. Ah, I believe I see the direction our adventure is to take. I assume you have a mind to unearth this hidden bounty. You assume correctly. And would I also be correct in assuming that this legend is widely known? Others must have surely gone in search for your prize, tempting as it seems. Well, of course we won't be the first to make the attempt. Following Alamigo's liberation, more than a few eager soldiers turned the palace upside down in hopes of claiming an easy fortune. But even after scouring every room from dusk till dawn, or dawn till dusk rather, they uncovered not a single coin. Their gold lust drained away as quickly as it had come, and the legend of the Mad King's Trove remained simply that, a legend. But I see you have no intention of letting the story end there. What self-respecting adventurer would? Imagine, the three of us delving into a decades-old mystery. Tell me the thought doesn't set your heart rate to racing. I can now box. Beautiful. Why did it take me 3 expansions to learn how to box? Oh, 2 expansions, rather. The news of Delma and Alamigo's liberation has kindled the flames of revolution in every corner of the Empire. I hear the imperial province of Dalamasca has already risen up in rebellion. Which means the Guardians must surely have their hands full. What better time than now to indulge in such a diversion? Tell us, Ehrenwald, have we any clues as to where we might begin our search? Well, judging by how the other treasure hunters fared, nosing about the palace isn't like to get us anywhere, so we'll probably need to ask around. Would that be another way of saying no? Well, yes. I see. In that case, I shall pay a visit to the Allied Archivists and request access to the records seized from the Imperials. The Guardians are meticulous about such things. If they uncovered the trove during their occupation, the event is certain to have been recorded. In the meantime, the two of you can track down those who worked as palace servants and officials in Theodoric's day. Given that they would have been at least 20 at the time, you'll be looking at people who have seen 40 summers or more. Anything they can tell you about the king and his bloody deeds may prove useful, and be sure to listen well. And well, pray you try your luck in the Fridges and the Peaks, whilst Kaharu makes the rounds in the Alamican quarter. And here I was thinking I was the party leader. Not that I mind, of course. Let's be about it, eh? We can meet afterwards at Gilbard's Gate. Alright, let's teleport. Boop. Whew, bless me. Goodness. Okay, who am I talking to? Who am I supposed? Oh, you. Hello. In the palace? No, not me, lass. Surely you've heard the stories of the Mad King. He used to hold public executions up on the divine audience. Anyone, I mean anyone, suspected of conspiring against the crown was flung from the top of those steps. Ooh. Ooh dear. Suffice it to say that I stayed as far away from the palace as possible. Yeah, that was probably a good idea. That was probably a smart idea. You want to hear an old maid's stories, do you? Aye, well, most of what I know of the Mad King is common knowledge. We'd only see his royal majesty when he deigned to attend the executions he'd ordered. And after a while, even watching his enemies die wasn't enough to coax him out of hiding. They say he started seeing assassins in every shadow and wouldn't set foot outside the palace walls. I was offered work there as a royal servant once, but the mere thought of it left me in a cold sweat. Yeah, that's probably smart that you... Theodoric really was crazy, wasn't he? Good lord. I served at the pleasure of King Theodoric and lived well to tell the tale. One of the palace guards I was. Truth be told, it was a dark chapter in my life and one I'd sooner forget. Hardly a night went by when we didn't hear blood-curdling screams echoing from the inner chambers, which, of course, we were under orders to ignore. Oof. So we'd stand still as statues, trying not to imagine what horrors were unfolding within. When you're hell-bent on finding out what happened in the palace, head down the street here and ask old Arnold. He was the king's head scribe. Oof, yeah, that sounds like a not fun time. Yes, I am Arnold. What do you want with me? You'd have me dredge up some decidedly unsavory memories. Yet if Alamigo is to move forward, we must needs acknowledge the misdeeds of the past. Very well, I shall tell you what I remember. I take it you know of Theodoric's paranoia and the public executions of his kinsmen. Yes, I think everyone knows this. Those were terrible enough, but in his last days, the king's fevered mind settled upon an even grislier method of disposal, to which only a chosen few were unfortunate enough to witness. Ooh, okay. His Majesty ordered the court thaumaturge to unleash a vile curse upon the remaining members of the royal family, a magic which transformed them into fiends of hideous aspect. The resulting monstrosities were then cast into the darkness below the palace. Even now my sleep was troubled by nightmares. If others of Theodoric's blood were prone to share his madness, then mayhap it is a kindness that the monarchy ended with him. Ooh dear. Ooh. Yeah, maybe it's better than the monarchy ended with Theodoric. Goodness. Goodness gracious. Since we're all here, why don't we share what we learned? Allow me to begin then. As promised, I scoured the Imperial records for any mention of fanatic treasures and found precisely none. It's so helpful, Alphino. It is possible, I suppose, that a corrupt official deliberately hid the fact of the trove's discovery, hoping to enrich himself, but I find it rather unlikely that so valuable a find would stay secret for long. I conclude that our prize either does not exist, or that the Imperials somehow overlooked it. But what of you, Kaharu? Were your investigations any more fruitful? Now that you mention it... Turn into monsters? And what could it mean by this darkness beneath the palace, I wonder? I met an old man in Alighieri who spoke of the palace's subterranean prison, but he said not of cursed abominations. The Imperial archives were also silent on the subject of fiends inside the palace grounds. Could the scribe fellow have been spinning her a yarn, do you think? Did you believe him, Kaharu? Well, his fear seemed genuine. If he was afraid, that does lend credence to the tale, though I'm not sure how that helps us in our search. Do not be so hasty. Reynolds' anecdote may very well have told us where the trove is hidden. But ere I share my theory, there is a matter I would clarify. In Wald, you spoke of light-hearted adventure, but I sense a deeper motive for this expedition. Why are you so intent on finding this treasure? It wasn't all pretense, I swear it, but you're right. My father was in the Imperial Army, a man of Garlean blood. I trust you know what I mean when I say that my Alamegan mother did not welcome my arrival. As I grew, she would check my brow over and over, convinced that a spot on my skin was emerging a third eye. Like the kind you see in pure-blood Garleans, my mother did not care for this taunting reminder of my heritage and took up a knife. War paint serves to cover the scar. In the end, she turned me out into the street, and I was left to haunt the alleyways of Alamigo. A feral child who got what he needed through begging, cunning, or worse. The best I can say about the years that followed is that I survived, but I hated the animal I'd become. Eventually... What? No, I'm streaming. Oof. Hush. Hush. Hush with the text. I'm streaming. Stop it. Eventually, I left the city behind me and joined a group of refugees bound for the other side of the wall. It was then that I turned to adventuring, and that road led me to the company of the Scions. I tell you this so that you understand. I know all too well what poverty and hunger can do to a person. I drew steel on ordinary folk for a measly crust of bread. With Theodoric's gold, I could spare my countrymen the shame of living like that. Thank you, Emerald, and I apologize. That cannot have been pleasant to recall, but I felt it best to clear in our intentions. Well, Kaharu, are you content to surrender the treasure to Emerald's noble cause and claim the thrill of adventure as your reward? Well, duh. Then I should be glad to tell you my theory is on the resting place of the Mad King's trove, if you're minded to hear it. I don't need any of this. Sure. Alright. Actually, mayhap it would be better if we first adjourn to a more suitable location. In case our elf treasure hunter overhears our plans, you mean? Good thinking. That's not exactly the reason, but 'tis certainly a valid concern. Let us reconvene on the southern edge of Loch Seld. Okay, up and over the wall. There we go. And my cat has decided he needs a lap now. Isn't that right, Mr. Midnight? Isn't that right? You want lap. You needy thing. Oh, I'm right above them. Forgive me, 'twas not my intention to draw out proceedings. I simply wished to have the lock in sight while I explained things. Prior to the great flood of the 6th Umbral Calamity, the salt lakes you see before you were yet dry ravines. And this, believe it or not, was the site of the ancient city of Scala, which rose and fell during the 5th Astral Era. From what we know of the period, the city was already deserted by the time the waters began to rise, having been all but destroyed by war, yet its ruins remain to this day at the bottom of Loch Seld. Hey BG man, just going through patch 4.1 on Final Fantasy. It is my belief that the darkness beneath the palace, mentioned by Theodoric's former scribe, was not a reference to the prison, but to a place still further below, the ruins of Scala. I further surmise that the Mad King's unfortunate kinsmen were cast down there not simply out of a desire to punish them, but to discourage exploration. Theodoric wanted to keep the ruins secure. And Theodoric was a Mad King, so... Wait, they're saying they're meant to guard the Mad King's trove. Precisely. And since we know the court thaumaturge was involved, we can safely assume that any entrance into the old city will have been magically concealed. Which would explain how a legion of Imperial soldiers and gods know how many Alamegans never found a trace of the trove. We, however, have certain advantages which they do not. Kaharu, would you be so good as to swim down to the bottom of the loch and search for an underwater route into the ruins? While you do that, Erenvald and I will seek out an in-corso portal within the palace. I've been okay. Just having a cat put claws in my leg because apparently he thinks that means love. Why do you do this, Midnight? Okay. Now I accidentally found the spot for this last time when we were finishing up Stormblood. Ah, there it is. Just follow the glowy things. There we go. You discover a passage that appears to lead under the palace foundations. Press on and find out where it goes. Swim, Kaharu, swim! Oh, it's open. You come to a worn stone door, standing temptingly ajar. It would appear you have found an entrance into the subterranean ruins. Kaharu, Azafino, we have searched the prison beneath the palace and found a door concealed by enchantments. Have you aught to report? And you believe it leads into the ruins? Excellent. Then I propose we proceed from our respective entry points and look to meet somewhere in the middle. Midnight, were you beating up on Charlie again? Oh, you're a butt. You're a butt. And okay. Oh, come now, you two. We might as well make it a race. Victory goes to the first adventurer who finds the treasure. Godspeed. Alright. Where is it? Oh, Midnight, could you not dig your claws into my leg, please? That would be wonderful. The drowned city of Scala. 17 minutes. I could just squeeze through. Just let me in. Let me in, game. Okay. Now, not much we can do but wait for the queue to pop. However long that decides to take. Be so glad when I don't have to put up with the queues in Shadowbringers. Because I can just use the Trust Party in Shadowbringers and Endwalker. Well, I can use the Trust Party except for the trials, but you know, details. I can use the Trust Party for the dungeons! And plus in Shadowbringers, I'll be going through it as a Dark Knight, so I will be a tank, which means I will get really, really fast queue times. Swim, Kaharu, swim! There you go. let's take a look for some sightseeing logs that's around here. Because what else are we gonna do? I already got all the ether currents, which is why I can fly. No, not okay. Prey? Prey. It's usually either lookout or prey. Bonfire, okay. That is quite the view. Wow. Okay, is there a sightseeing log over here? Sightseeing logs do generally like to hide on tall things. Up, up. No? Is this a no? Hello, helicopter. Yeah, there's nothing there. This is interesting. Wonder what this was for. Ow, okay, midnight. No, no claws. No claws, please. You do this to yourself, honey. No, could you not midnight? No. Stop it. There you go. Okay, where is another... Ooh, hello! Sightseeing log. Is this a lookout one? This is probably a lookout one, is it? Yep. There we go. Now there's an ether current up there. I think. Or there's something up there. There we go. Okay, Midnight, I'm gonna need my hand back. Gonna need my hand back, Midnight. Okay, I have my hand back. And we have reached a cave system that I'm pretty sure we can only reach by flying. Hopper's load. Doesn't look like there's anything interesting in here. Unfortunate. Hey, it's Port of Pretoria. Nice. Okay. Where else would a sightseeing log be? There used to be an ether current like right on here, and it was the most annoying thing to get to, and I will show you why. Let me show you the path you had to take just to get the ether current that was on top of this wall. It's ridiculous. And I'm so glad they changed the ether currents in the previous expansion. So not only do you have to get up only about 4 of them, and of course you still have to do the 5 quests, but they're a lot easier to access. Okay, let's see. Okay, so to get to that one, you have to go all the way through here. And let me remind you that you are running while doing this. You go around here. Go up here, of course. Okay. Hold on. No, that's the wrong one. Go to this section right here. Drop down. Climb on this wall. Climb along that wall. Which you can do. To get into here, make your way through here, which is just a pain in the butt in and of itself. Go all the way through here. Make your way through here, up here to where this is. No, that's not it. Where is it? Ah, it's through here. Go through here, down through this little tunnel here, out into the Royal Hunting Grounds. Run all the way across the hunting grounds. And of course trying to avoid those things the entire time. Come out over here to Appalachia Skull. And you're still going, by the way, we still have not reached the Ether Current. And then we have to go around the long way over here. You just keep going. Ignoring the things that are trying to murder me. And all the way around here. Fall down here. And that's how you get to the Ether Current. And that's how you would get to the Ether Current. It was the most ridiculous Ether Current to get in this expansion. Just because of what you had to do to reach it. It was really dumb. Yeah, you had to go through all of that just to reach this Ether Current. Right where I'm standing, right here. Oh, somewhere along here anyway, but it was dumb. It was ridiculously stupid. But now you only have to find 4 Ether Currents, and they're all so much easier to reach. And you don't have to go around like trying to find the routes to get to the Ether Currents. It's so much faster to get them. But unless you're an Endwalker, in that case, I think you still have to find like, I think it's 10 Ether Currents in each area. But they haven't been too difficult to find, at least they haven't been too difficult to get to. Which is nice. Because again, that one route that I had to go through just to get that one Ether Current was stupid. It was so dumb. The hell is that? Hey, hold on. What is that? I need to see what this is now. What is this? I must know. What are you? Oh, you're originally supposed to reach this by the water. Okay. There is nothing here. Where does this come out? No, seriously, where does this come out? Oh, this is interesting. Curious indeed. And of course, there's the entrance to the dungeon over here. I like these glowy things. What are these? Hey, Square, can you let us have these in our houses? Look at this. This is really pretty. Okay, let's get back up to the surface. Boop. And continue the hunt for ether. Ooh, hello, never mind. Why did I almost say ether currents? I meant sightseeing logs. I already got all the ether currents. Come on, guys, wake up. Wake up, DPS. Yes! The drowned city of Scala. Stop it. This place is really pretty, though, I have to admit. Start implementing the explore mode into more of the earlier dungeons, because some of these dungeons are actually really, really pretty. I mean, look at this. Look at how pretty this is. I don't actually know if you can do explore mode in the Drowned City of Scala. I know you can in some of the Stormblood dungeons, but I'm not sure if this is one you can. Oh, okay. That one's down. Now for the tiny one. There you go. And that brings us to this box. Now I'll let you in. Let me tell you a little secret about when this dungeon first came out and we first had to fight this boss. The push and pull mechanic when this dungeon originally came out, for some reason, the push and pull names of his attacks were switched around. So when he was going to do a push, he was actually going to do a pull, and when he was going to do a pull, he was going to do push. And it confused the hell out of everyone just trying to do this boss. And we had to learn to do the opposite of what he was going to do. And then they fixed it, and everyone had to learn to actually do the mechanics correctly again. It was great. It was a great time. No, I don't like it. No. Oh, where's the healer? Healer? Come on. We gotta get through this. We gotta find that King's Trove. Okay, you are excused, healer. You are excused. No. I don't like the clowns from this dungeon. Ah, I still need to get the clowns from Doma Castle. Someone remind me to do that something. Step. Standard step. Is that a step? It's standard step. Let's go. Come here. Or just do that too, I guess. Wait. The hell is this hat? That is a very dumb looking hat. Oh dear. That's a lot of AoEs! That was too many AoEs! Too many AoE! Nope, that's still a lot of AoEs. I do not need any of that. Thank you. What just happened? Okay, that's just rude. That's just rude. That. Why would you do that to me? Yep. Nope. Still no. Try again. There we go. Standard step. I'm now a springin'! Oh dear. Springin'! Got that one? Yay! Okay, I guess. You do that. Oh, beautiful. What is this? No. No, thank you. I'm good. No, I'm still good, thanks. Gotten to the part where oh goodness. Got her if he's truly a mad king, wasn't he? Whoop. Look at that guy go. Oh, so slow. Oh dear. Nope. Too many AoEs. Come on. Slow down. Goodness, how long have they been down here like this for? Oh, I just scattered them. How long have they been down here like this for? How long? Okay, what's in the chest? Useless item! That's okay. Nope, out the AoE. Nope, I don't want none of that AoE, thank you. Thank you, but no. I'm good. I'm good. Hello. Anyway. Well, we found the controls. I'm safe where I am. Away! Oh no, the tank is the healer! I'm not gonna move. You guys can figure this out. No, bad. Bad. Why would you do this? Oh god. Oh, could you? Oh, goodness. The tank! Inside. Got him. Hey. Oh. Poor lad. Oh, that poor man.
Oh, bugger it.
Are you all right?
Aye. Aye. Everything's still attached.
Did you guys really just fall from the ceiling?
Ah, it seems both our paths led here. Very good. We spent altogether too much time fleeing fiends horrid and numerous. How fared you?
Yeah, about the same, honestly.
Much the same, then. 'Twould appear this place is yet inhabited by King Theodoric's kin, or what is left of them. The work of terrible magics, I fear.
Yep.
Terrible, aye. But their misfortune is our fortune?
Quite. By the 12, there is even more than I imagined.
Oh, I can't wait to see the look on Lisa's face. Thanks for believing in me, you two.
Anytime you're involved. Aaronwald and I forged ahead at the fastest pace we could manage, but I was not surprised to find you waiting for us. I suppose it serves as driver challenging the Warrior of Light. Next time we should agree on some manner of handicap. We may have lost Alphino, but think of what we found. Quite. I'm still reeling at the side of that mountain of riches. Oh, am I being abandoned? Oh, yep, the cat's abandoning me. How dare. What? Like how you reeled at the side of that floating specter, you mean? You should have heard him scream, Kaharu. Must we dwell on such momentary lapses? We found the Mad King's trove, and that is all that matters. Alphino and his fear of ghosts. All jesting aside, we must tell the people the good news, and I think Lise should be the first. Seconded, there needs to be a meeting of representatives from across Alamigo, so she is sure to be in the city. Shall we seek her out? Okay, hold on. Before that... Mend. Hello, mend my gear. Thank you. And I think I got a weapon call. No, that's the accessories. I thought I got a weapon collar. Oh, that might not come until later. Oh well. What did I get? I don't know what I got. I got nothing from that quest. Okay. Never mind. I'm just seeing things. Lise! Hello! Hello. Oh, you do look pleased with yourselves. What have you been up to? I'm glad you asked, Lise, and I'm pretty sure you're going to like the answer. You're joking. The Mad King's Trove. I thought it was a myth. So did plenty of people, but they didn't have Kaharu and Alphinaud in their party. The credit for finding it should really go to them. As for what to do with it all, I vote that it go towards elevating the suffering of Alamigo's poor. Gods, if there's as much as you say? Ehrenwald did not exaggerate, I assure you. We could not hope to carry even a fraction of it out on our own. I have taken the liberty of sketching out a rough map of the ruins. If you will assemble a squad of your most trusted freedom fighters, they should be able to follow the route to where the treasure lies. Understood. I'll make sure every coin is accounted for, and that goes for the spending of it as well. Thank you. Oh, there is one other thing. When the time comes to draw up a plan for the distributing of the spoils, I would ask that you consult Alphinaud. I don't have a head for the details. I'm not educated. I see that simply handing out sacks of gil won't solve everything, but I couldn't rightly tell you what to do instead. Oh, I know the feeling. I'd welcome any advice you could give us, Alphinaud. Of course, I shall be at your disposal. Commander, we've got a problem. Deep breaths. Tell me what's happened. A mob scattered outside the headquarters, and they started making demands. You'd best come see for yourself. That's not good.
Step back, all of you!
Like hells we will! We know who you've got in there!
We're
not leaving till you hand her over!
Bring her out! Bring her out!
Oh dear.
What's going on?
That is a good question, Lise.
Someone let slip about Fedorla.
Oh dear.
It's true then! The bitch really is in there! I knew it! I bloody knew it! We demand vengeance! Bring her out! Today we butcher the butcher!
Come on, you don't mean that! We'd be no better than the Imperials if you'd all just calm down! Calm down! That monster and her thrice damned skulls dragged my man from our home and beat him to death in the street!
Aye! And my dad! That bitch has spilt enough blood to fill a lock!
We all know her crimes. She's a traitor and a murderer. How many of your resistance friends have died at her hands, eh? And here you are, protecting her! So that's what all the fuss is about.
Ramon!
Hearken to me, brothers and sisters of Alamigo. Hey, who's this?
That's the Bull of Alamigo.
My friends, you are not alone in your anger, your grief, your despair, for it is mine as well. That gnawing pain in your breast, it is enough to bring an old bull to his knees. But I ask you, brothers and sisters, to think not only of the family and friends who were cut down before your very eyes, but to think also of the ones who were abducted, the ones who may yet live. Where were they taken? What became of them? These questions demand answers. I share your thirst for justice, for vengeance, but we will gain only fleeting satisfaction if we give in to our base appetites. We will never know the truth. Now is the time that we, the people of Alamigo, must decide what manner of nation we will build for ourselves, and for generations yet unborn. When they look to our example, will they see a people who held fast to their principles? Or one who cast them aside when tried? I say to you, it is our responsibility to give these prisoners a fair trial, that they might answer to all of Alamigo. The Garleans called us savages, and I'll be damned if we prove them right.
Thank you, Ramon.
I know you're right, I do, but I can't.
My thanks, Ramon. Listening to their anger, I could feel myself being swept away. 'Tis a difficult tide to stem. 'Twas that same rage which brought us to our feet and carried us to victory. But now the war is over, and all the unspent fury is being channeled into vengeance. Aye, and it's not just here. We reports of mobs forming all over. They've been targeting folk known to have cooperated with the Garleans. It starts with insults most often, then someone picks up a stone. Some industrious souls have been thought to seek out the graves of Xenos and his officers. It was grim. I want to build a country where everyone, regardless of race or origin, can live side by side in peace. But maybe the time isn't right. Maybe people just aren't ready. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to try. The representatives will be here soon, and I'll be damned if I'm going to give up before I've even begun. Who are these representatives exactly? Oh, village elders, refugee leaders, and the like. It wouldn't be right for us to dictate the nation's future on our own, so we've planned a summit of sorts. We even invited the Anata and the Kitkern to participate. Alamigo stands at a crossroads, and this meeting will decide which path it takes. The matter of Fordola's sentence cannot be suffered to disrupt proceedings. Then let's execute her and be done with it. She herself asked to be put to death. Nago! I already explained why we wouldn't do that. Sending her to the gallows might satisfy people right now, but where would it end? Should we round up everyone who collaborated? And everyone who didn't resist? There'd be no one left, and we'd be no better than Theodoric and Xenos. Begging your pardon, but might I be allowed to speak with Fordola? Only I caught a glimpse of her past. A moment of it, anyway, during the fight. She's done terrible things, aye, unforgivable things, but in some ways, she's a victim of the circumstances in which she was born, and that's something I can understand. Alright, speak with the prison guard when you're ready, and I'll come and join you. I want to talk to her too. I'll return to my other duties then. We've barely begun to investigate the facility where they gave Fordola her powers. Be fairly warned, friends. She will test you. Do not let your emotions color your judgment when she does. Oh, hiccups. Okie doke, let's go talk with Fordola! Yes. Let's go see Fordola, guys. Thank you.
Well, well, well. So many visitors. Come to have a good laugh, have you? Or do you mean to put me out of my misery? To finish what you started? It's about bloody time.
That's not why we're here, no. Do you remember what I said? How I promised you you'd live long enough to see us win our freedom? Well, I meant it. And not to mock you either.
You're wasting your time. All of this is pointless! There's no reason to keep me alive, and you know it! I killed your men. I killed my men! And you know what my only regret is? That I didn't kill you when I had the chance!
That's a lie, and you know it! You think we can't tell what you're trying to do? That we're blind? Yeah, you're a fool, but you're not stupid. You're ruthless. Relentless. You'd give up anything and everything to get what you want. You didn't come this far, climbing over the bodies of your own brothers and sisters just to piss it all away. I see you, Fedora. I see you for what you are.
Uh-oh.
Come along, Fedora. We mustn't be late. The Imperial Viceroy will be attending today's banquet.
All right! Father, what's Lord Gaius like? Is he nice? Are you friends?
There you go again with all your questions. Lord Gaius is a great and honourable man who looks after all of Alamigo. He's very busy, and if we don't hurry, we'll miss our chance to see him.
Filthy tin-head lovers.
Father, what did that man call us?
Oh, goodness.
The little tin-head lover doesn't know what she is, eh? A traitor, sweetheart. A backstabbing bitch who'd gladly betray her kith and kin to gnaw on what few scraps the Imperials deign to toss her. Like your bastard father and whore mother.
That's not true! My parents are good people! They've never done anything like that!
Oh.
Oh, but they were quick to help themselves and their bitch spawn, weren't they? You're just as guilty as them.
Dude, she's a child. Leave her alone.
Fedora!
She's a little girl. Leave her alone.
Traitors!
Please, you have to do something. My husband and daughter are in danger.
Soldiers of the Imperial Army are under no obligation to intervene in the disputes of arm.
Bloody Imperials.
We're citizens. We have rights.
scared.
It's all right. It's all right. They don't understand, but they'll see in time. They'll see that this is the only way to survive. Traitors! Traitors!
Let the savages have their fun. They'll be more compliant once they've tired themselves out.
Fadola, please! You already have citizenship. Why would you want to become a soldier? Oh, gods! What have you done to your face?
Forgotten it already, have you? I'm honoring Father's memory.
By telling the world that you know better than a common savage.
Am I though, Mother? Are any of us? Can't you see? Citizenship means nothing to them. If you're not a pure-blood Garlean, you're no different from any other savage. So I'll play the part. I'll join the Legion and I'll make them respect me. And when the mob see that, they'll think twice before throwing their stones. Ansfrid, Rudolph, Emlyn. It's time. It'll be hard. Humiliating. They'll try to break us. Send us crawling back to our own kind. But we won't, no matter what. We'll bleed for them, die for them if we have to. We'll do whatever it takes to be free!
Oh, goodness.
So, you mean to play the part one last time, eh? The unrepentant traitor whose death will serve to unite the people?
Shut up.
You had every chance to kill yourself. Fashion a noose from your clothes. Wait for the guards to leave you alone long enough to slip it over your neck.
I said shut up!
Oh, but then it would have all been for nothing, wouldn't it? Whatever it takes. That's what you said.
Been in my head, have you? Had a little peek at my past? And what? A few stolen memories tell you everything you need to know, do they? Don't you dare patronize me! You don't know a god's damned thing about the life I've led! The bastards that killed him. The bastards that let it happen. My father deserved better! I swore I'd do whatever it took to make them pay!
Your turn.
You. All that power. All that pain. It's too much. Too much for anyone. The things they've done to you. The lies. The betrayal. The endless fighting. Yet there you stand. Unbroken. How? Why?
For those I have lost, for those I can yet save.
Damn you. Damn you all.
You still have time, Fordola. Think about how you want to spend it. Let's go.
The glam I currently have on Kaharu is the Far Eastern Ladies gear. Yep. Anyway, continuing on. I don't know that we solved anything exactly, but we've given Fordola something to think about at least. I found something new to think about too. I don't know about you, Kaharu, but the visions only come to me every now and then. And the way Fordola kept wincing though, I get the feeling she's having them almost all the time. That's a lot of bad memories to deal with. I wonder, could there be some fundamental difference between the one who was born with the echo and one who has been artificially imbued with it? While the immortal flames have been scouring that research facility ever since liberation, there's a chance they might have some answers for us. The General Alden's overseeing the investigation. Let's go and pay him a visit, shall we? Whee! Here we are. Yep, I will be joining him. Let's go. Raubon! Raubon! What news? You spoke with Fordola, I take it? Yes, and as expected, she didn't say very much, but it wasn't a total waste of time. Emerald noticed something odd about her. He thinks she might be having visions almost constantly, which is not how the Echo normally works. Have you found anything here which might explain why it's so different for her? We've been hard-pressed just to organize the research materials, let alone study them. To be frank, I'd welcome the Scion's expert assistance if you have time to lend a hand. Let's take a look around, shall we? Boop. Boop. The device in which Kral was held seems to have even more ominous. Wait. The device in which Kral was held seems even more ominous now that you know its purpose. The surrounding pods are marked supply subject, while this one bears the label master subject. The Ironworks received a request from the Alliance to analyze these devices, and have been recording everything of interest. Did you notice labeling? All the pods are designed to drain the ether of the occupant. Save that one right there. Unlike the others, the interior has been fitted with an array of sensors to measure etheric waveforms. To what purpose, however, I couldn't tell you. conversation prohibited. Eating and drinking prohibited. The fallen scrap of parchment appears to list facility regulations, but nothing of interest. Oh my god. So many bodies. Every one of them a victim of these experiments. Few show any signs of external injury. From what we've been able to determine, they perished from forcible ether extraction. Such a merciful way to die. Good Lord. I know little and less of science, so any light you can shed on this facility's operations would be most appreciated. Gaharu, shall we start with you? Taken in combination with the testimonies of Kryle and Thancred, I do begin to see exactly what the Imperials were attempting here. The enhancement procedure entailed infusing a single candidate with ether siphoned from a multitude of supply subjects. As for the master subject, in this case Kryle, the patterns of her etheric activity would provide the model upon which they would artificially engineer the candidate's aura. In other words, they're trying to recreate Kryle's echo. I believe so, which would explain our prisoner's present state. Kryle is possessed of an unrivaled ability to hear the whispers of the soul, and it seems probable that the procedure engendered the same acute sensitivity in Fordola. The soldiers who guarded Fordola, many of them lost friends and family to the skulls. And there's a sentry at her door, night and day. If she can't help sensing their thoughts and seeing their past... But you don't just see their past, you live it. All the emotions, all the pain. Imagine what it'd do to you. You'll never be the same again. Indeed, as you may recall, Yazel was completely transformed by a single glimpse of Hurry-Spelger's past. Fordola has been forced to experience the agony of those whose lives she destroyed. The guilt must be unbearable. That explains her request to be executed. Sounds to me like a kind of justice. Regardless, she can suffer for now. We have more pressing matters to consider. The results of these experiments have been relayed back to Garlemald, and there will be naught to stop the Empire from repeating the trick. They could give the echo to anyone, an entire legion. We must be ready. We must learn all we can of these gods-forsaken procedures, and Fordola remains our best source of information. She'll not be getting her wish. Not yet. Right. Keep faith, lass. If you're to convince others to follow you, you must believe what you're telling them. People will respond to passion, but not if it's feigned. I understand. Thank you, General. We should leave the flames to it. Let's go. I was looking for answers about the Echo and ended up getting schooled by Ralbon. Yet more evidence that I don't know what I'm doing. It's no wonder people listen to him and not me. General Alden is a veteran of countless campaigns, Lise. You cannot compare yourself to a commander of his experience. I know, but I also know that I couldn't have convinced that mob to give up and go home. It made me realize how much we rely on his authority, and how much I still have to learn. I wonder what he'll do when everything here is settled. I mean, it's his homeland. After going to the trouble of winning it back, might he not want to stay? 'Tis a quandary which countless refugees now face, to continue the life they built in Ul'dah or start again in the land of their birth. Kaharu, a moment. I am newly returned from Ul'dah with a message from the Sultana. Good lord, my brain stopped working for a moment. Her Grace desires an audience with you. She understands that you have responsibilities here, but asks that you visit the palace at your earliest convenience. Well, I must away and attend to other business. Until next time, my friends. An audience with the Sultana. Depending on the nature of her consultation, this might be the perfect opportunity to inquire about the General's future plans. Yes, we'd all like to know about those, Afano, but not everyone's as comfortable interrogating royalty as you. Take no notice of him, Kaharu. Well, the question of how to put the Magic's treasure to good use shows no signs of answering itself. Shall we be about it, Ehrenwald? I am at your beck and call. And I should be getting back to my own tasks. I'll organize a squad to head down into the ruins and then start preparing for the big meeting. Oh, send Nanamo my regards, Kaharu. And ours too, if you please. We shall see you on your return. Alright. To Ul'dah! Away! Okay. Ethernet, we want paper pool. Here we are. Run, Kaharu, run! Run with your tiny Thancred! You are expected, my lady. Please proceed.
I thank you for answering my summons in these most interesting times. You have been busy.
Yes, I have been very busy.
The liberation of Alamigo will have far-reaching consequences, and there is a matter upon which I would seek your counsel. I speak of Rauban and his future. All know the tale of his rise from penniless refugee to member of the Syndicate and General of the Immortal Flames. Yet though he has come to call Ul'dah home, it will never be his homeland. He is a son of Alamigo. And now that she is free, I thought it only a matter of time before he sought my leave to return to her. Indeed, I had resigned myself to his loss. Suffice it to say, I was greatly surprised to hear him speak so lightly of handing over the reins in Alamigo and retaking his place at my side. I will welcome him with open arms, of course. He is my most trusted advisor and my dearest friend. But I have known the man a long time, and beneath that steely gaze, I spied a flicker of doubt.
Oh. Rauban.
Whether Rauban chooses to remain in Ul'dah or return to Alamigo, I only wish that he do so with a heart unburdened by guilt or regret. Yet, how can he freely make such a choice, knowing how much I depend on him? It is past time that I learned to discharge my duties as a Sultana alone. I must go forth and see my realm with my own eyes, and hear the wind with my own ears. Might I have your company for a brief adventure? Wonderful. Allow me a moment to change into something a touch less conspicuous, and I will join you outside.
Alright, let's go to the Adventurers Guild. Come, tiny thinker, we must away! Where is she? There she is. Perhaps you remember Lalira, the merchant's daughter. This is the persona I assume when I venture beyond the palace walls to observe my subjects unnoticed. Ordinarily, Papa Shan would accompany me, but for this particular outing I need an advisor, not a minder. That is why I requested your company. Over the course of your many adventures, you have met people from all walks of life, in every corner of Eorzea, and I would make use of your worldly experience. Now, let us be on our way. Our first destination is Stone Throw, just beyond the Gate of Nald. I'm going to ignore that bunny boy gathering. I'm kind of concerned. Just slightly concerned about that. Look upon this procession of tattered tents. These refugees camp in squalor at the mercy of the elements and Thanalan's predators both. The city's mighty walls offer safety, but the streets overflow with people as it is. And unless blessed by the hand of Nold himself, no refugee could ever hope to afford a dwelling in Ul'dah. 20 years have passed since the fall of Alamigo, and 5 since the calamity. Yet the plight of the poor has grown more desperate, not less. As Sultana, the blame falls upon me. You have done your best, Your Grace. Then my best has not been good enough. Shall we press on? I would follow the road to the unholy air. Okay. Whee! Upward. This mount makes the weirdest noises. There she is. It was here, in this wholly unremarkable place, that my mother and father met their doom. I was but a child at the time. My parents were returning from an inspection of our interests in eastern Thanalan when an untimely rockslide crushed their carriage. To this day, it is not certain if the incident was simple misfortune or an expertly planned assassination. Raban once offered to reopen the investigation and bring me the truth he assumed I must surely crave, but I refused. Even if my parents' deaths were orchestrated by the monetarists, we could only have brought their hirelings to justice. The true villains, the ones who plotted to put me on the throne as a biddable puppet, were ever beyond our reach. Thus I planned to strip the merchants of their power and place our nation in the hands of its citizens. Quite unaware of the consequences my actions would have for you and yours, I shudder to think how many goodly souls paid the price of my naivety. But I am no longer a child reciting words with witless obedience, and I will not be used as a pawn in the monetary damnable games. Forgive me my outburst. You are one of the few people to whom I feel I can speak my mind. Come, let us return to Ul'dah and visit the Colosseum. Up. Alright, back into Ul'dah we go. Why is there no music playing? What happened to the music? What the hell was that? Ah, this game. They are still there. Okay then. I'm not going to question the bunny boy gathering there. Here we are. That guy needs to put on a shirt and some, you know, actual pants. Well, where is she? There she is. From the moment I became Sultana, I found myself thrust into an endless parade of document signing and ceremonies. For years, I simply signed where I was told to sign and sat where I was told to sit, blissfully oblivious to what any of it meant. Yet one good thing did come from that ignominious chapter of my life, for it was during an official visit to the Colosseum that I first met Raubon. The match I had been invited to attend was not at all what I expected. They had pitted the Bull of Alamigo against some dozen or so rival gladiators. Blickert though I was, I would not stand for so obvious an injustice and demanded to see a fair fight. One man against another, and my royal wish was duly granted. It was not until later that I learned of the gambling ring which had arranged for Raubon to die on the sands that day. Regardless, my intervention meant that Raubon had but a single opponent to dispatch, which he duly did, and when he knelt before me to receive the winner's purse, he swore that he would one day offer me his blade in service. Surrounded as I was by liars and manipulators, I confess I dismissed it as a pleasant piece of theater. But as you know, Raubon is a man of his word. Though it took him another 5 years of fighting on the blood sands, he amassed a fortune so great as to buy not only his freedom but a seat on the syndicate, and then I had my blade.
Your Grace, you mustn't! The danger is too great! Please, Your Grace, come back! I beg of you!
It seems you're the one who needs looking after, Master Show. Raubon!
Your Grace! I have kept the promise made.
So you have, and in turn, so too shall I keep mine. With your winnings, you have become one of the 6 most wealthy souls in all Uldar, and so, as tradition dictates, Raubon Aldin, you have earned yourself a seat on the Syndicate. May your new station garner you still greater glories.
I am honored, Your Grace, and vow to serve with every fiber of my being from this day till my last. Long live the Sultana, and long live Uldar!
Oh, it is, but that was such a cute moment. Ah! Words cannot well express what that man means to me. There are others who deeply care for my well-being, of course. Papashan's love for me is that of a grandsire for his grandchild. But upon matters of governance, I cannot turn to bodyguards and maidservants for counsel. Raubon, with the authority of his syndicate position, was the first sword I could wield. He was the only edge which could cut the strings that bound me. Oh. Nanamo. We must make haste. My absence will not go unnoticed by the Sultan Sworn for long, and there are other places I would visit. To the Arzaneth Ossuary. Where? The hell? The hell am I? Okay, going outside plus hands. Okay. Oh, that was so adorable though. Nanamo! When the calamity threatened, Raubon led the Alliance forces into battle on the plains of Cartano, and I remained here. I prayed with all my heart that Archon Louisoix would have the power to rouse the 12. Since that day, I have made a custom of visiting the shrine during each of my little excursions. Here, I seek the blessing of Thal, reflect upon my choices, and ask myself if I am fulfilling my duties as Sultana. You are rightly celebrated as a champion because you have led the line in 100 battles for the good of Eorzea. In much the same way, I believe the measure of a monarch lies in how she leads her people in times of adversary. If I am to be a Sultana worthy of the name, I cannot turn a blind eye to the troubles facing Uldar. I have chosen my path, Gaharu. With Alamigo now freed from Imperial chains, I finally see a way to aid the refugees. Already many displaced Alamegans seek to begin the long trek home. To facilitate that process, I have made a small contribution, an artisan school in Ralger's Reach for any who wish to learn new trades. Realistically, however, it will take years for such training to yield tangible benefits. But we do not have years. These people will need shelter and employment if they are to survive, and this time, the Old Dawn Treasury shall provide. Precisely where and how to allocate the necessary funds is, of course, another question. Why not seek the advice of one who employs refugees? A wise suggestion. Mayhap a visit to the Gold Saucer is in order. Its proprietor is a member of the Syndicate, and he is one of the few who pays refugees a fair wage. I wonder, are you acquainted with Godbert Manderville? You have no idea how acquainted I am with that man. Then I need not explain his eccentric nature. Let us make our way to the landing, and I will see that word is sent to the Gold Saucer. Godbert should be only too glad to receive us. I am very well acquainted with Godbert, thank you very much. Oh my goodness. Can I just like Ethernet to the airship landing? Is that a thing you can do? I can. Beautiful. I have ridden aboard a public airship before, but this shall be my first visit to the Gold Saucer. I must confess to some excitement. To the Gold Saucer, please. I heard descriptions of its splendor, yet I never dreamed it would be so bright and inviting. No, I couldn't possibly. We did not come here to fritter away the royal coin. Godbird would be expecting us. Come, let us head directly to the lounge and ignore these gaudy temptations. Oh, goodness. Okay, we come over here and jump onto this. Woo! Hello, Donimo! I forgot about the statue. God damn it. I believe this is where we are to meet Lord Manderville. Shall we sit while we await his coming? My apologies, Your Grace. I have kept you waiting. No apologies necessary, Godbird. My request was sudden, and you were kind to make yourself available at such short notice. When my son's good friend and the Sultana herself comes calling, there is no more important engagement. As to the purpose of my visit, I would have your thoughts on how the Crown might best aid the refugees residing in Thanalan. You are aware, I am sure, that many of Alamigo's displaced sons and daughters long to return to their newly liberated homeland. And you are also aware of how they will suffer without shelter and work to sustain them. I would use our nation's wealth to spare them that suffering. What advice have you for me on the matter of how it might be best distributed? The unusual circumstances of our meeting, and Your Grace's choice of companion, will suggest me to desire for an honest and unvarnished opinion. I shall give you one. My advice to you is stop. Taxing Odal's wealth to save Alamigan refugees is a terrible, terrible idea. You oppose my proposition. Most sympathetically, I agree with Your Grace that the refugees must have housing and employment, but what profit is there for Odal in this arrangement? Profit? After all you have done for Girabani's displaced, I thought you the very last person to seek to benefit from their misfortune. God damn it, Zahn! No! No! Forgive me, Your Grace, but you appear to be laboring under a misapprehension. It is a fine endeavor to support one's fellow man. I fear, however, that your stance is one born of pity, not your intent is to save the refugees, is it not? Oh my, you would too. For all our potential, we are indolent creatures by nature. If unconditional charity is all we know, then we begin to rely upon it, to expect it. And then we must consider Odal's own poor downtrodden. Should they hear of you spending the nation's coin, not to improve their lot, but to nurture the distant citizens of Alamigo, it is unlikely they will applaud your generosity. Surely it is not Your Grace's intention to foster new resentments, but to spread goodwill. Indeed. Then any support I pledge to the refugees must promote self-sufficiency, whilst also serving the interests of the people of Ul'dah. Exactly so. Such an arrangement will create a far more equitable relationship with the returning Alamegans, even as it generates the revenue required to win the approval of your subjects. You have given me much to ponder, Lord Manderville. I thank you for your candor. There you go. profit. The thought never even crossed my mind. But standing about lamenting my naivety will not do anyone any good. I shall consider my lesson learned and press on. Kaharu, are you perchance acquainted with any successful merchants? If my attempt at philanthropy is obliged to reap a profit, it would seem wise to consult someone with a knack for business. Ordinarily, I would not trust any agent of the East Alnar Trading Company, but if you hold this Hancock fellow in high esteem, I am content to be led by you. You may repay my faith by journeying to distant Kugane and speaking with him on my behalf. Eager though I am to visit those shores, I have not the leisure for a lengthy sea voyage. Now, assuming you will travel as adventurers are wont to do, I shall await your report by the Aetheryte in Ul'dah. A fair journey to you, Kaharu, and a swift one, if you please. Alright, to Kugane. Let's go. Yep. Oh my god. Kaharu, to what do I owe the pleasure? Or are you here on business? I beg your pardon? Your Grace the Sultana would have my opinion on how to invest the wealth of Ul'dah. My dear Kaharu, I have to thank you for this recognition, I am sure, and I am flattered that you came to me. Truly flattered. But why settle for a lowly apprentice when you could have the master? Upon matters of profits, there is no living soul better qualified to advise Her Grace than Chairman Lolorito, a man whose morning excursions are said to fill his garb-robe with gold. I should be happy to arrange a meeting for you, say at the Scion's former headquarters in Thanalan. The Waking Sands would seem a suitably neutral venue for negotiations, don't you? Fare you well, Kaharu, and may your dealings prove fruitful. God damn it, Hancock. You had one job. I guess he is kind of doing his job, but still! What is even my point here? I don't think I have a point. Where is... There she is. Welcome back, Kaharu. Did your merchant friend have any useful advice to share? With Lolorito, and you agreed to this? I'm well aware of his standing in the field of business, but I had hoped to keep the Monteris at arm's length, and him in particular. Nay, I cannot live in fear of the man. I must learn how to treat with him if I am to rule Ul'dah effectively. Very well, I will meet with Lolorito. Let's go on ahead to the Waking Sands and prepare for his coming. Do I still have any Vesper Bay tickets left, or did I use all of those? That is a good question. Do I? Oh, never mind. I'm just here now. Never mind. So this is where the Scions first congregated. I have heard many tales, but never had occasion to visit. To work then. The hour of the meeting draws near, and I will gather my thoughts. Pray see to it that we have the appointed room to ourselves. Okay, I thought I was gonna have to teleport here. Never mind, I'm just there.
A personal summons from the Scions. This must be important business indeed. Though, if it concerns anything so underhand as an assassination, I fear I can be of little help.
Lolorito, get out. Just get out.
You have made your point. 'Tis indeed unsettling to find oneself seated across from an impassive mask. There, would this better please your grace? Or should I address you as Lady Lilira?
Nay, the deception has served its purpose. I'm glad to see you found amusement in my little jest, Lord Lolorito, but shall we proceed to the business at hand?
By all means. I must say, I'm most eager to hear your proposal.
Simply put, I would aid the refugees camped in Thanalan in their efforts to return to Alamigo. The reparations you paid in the wake of your earlier misdemeanors will be used to fund the endeavor, together with the fortune seized from the late Teleji Adeleji's estate. But this plan is not intended to benefit the displaced alone. I would make of this an investment which shall enrich Uldar and Alamigo both. And who better to consult on matters of profit than the wealthiest man in all of Thanalan? I beseech you then, Lord Lolorito, share with us your mercantile wisdom.
Ah, 'twould seem your grace has matured beyond acts of earnest yet misplaced charity. Pray tell me more.
Animals growing up, guys.
To summarize, in return for facilitating the repatriation of refugees and assisting in the establishment of new industry in Alamigo, you ask that a proportion of all subsequent profits be promised to Uldar. Ha! I am impressed, Your Grace. 'Tis an elegant solution, albeit one lacking certain crucial details, specifically which industry and where.
How swiftly you identified the weakness in my plan, just as I knew you would. Your travels have taken you across the length and breadth of Gir Abania, and you know the land far better than I. Which of the settlements you visited would best provide a home for our refugees? Which has the greatest potential to flourish, given the appropriate investment?
Probably the Sultry, if I had to guess. Because Alagana and Alagiri are doing their own thing, but the Sultry would provide work, and there are currently no workers, but it could be rebuilt.
Ah, yes, that desolate little village on the shore of Loch Seld.
Yes.
I know the Sultry and its products well. The Imperial invasion brought an end to their more widespread distribution, much to the dismay of many a wealthy gourmand, myself included. Salt has ever been a transformative ingredient, and in this instance, I dare say, it could transform a modicum of effort into a mountain of gil.
The local citizens will need to be consulted, of course, but I trust the East Aldenard Trading Company can be relied upon to provide its assistance in negotiating a mutually beneficial arrangement.
Naturally, Your Grace. I shall dispatch representatives well versed in the extraction of this white gold and wring every last ounce of profit from its production. The Loch's bounty will contribute to Alamigo's enrichment, whilst easing the burden on the bull's aching shoulders. Just as Your Grace desired.
A deal is struck then.
Yay, we did it, guys. We struck a deal. We did it. I fear it will be many years before I feel comfortable taking part in such negotiations. But I shall not complain. We have piqued Lord Lorito's interest and secured his invaluable expertise. Thank you, Kaharu. I could not have done it without you. I'll do that, thank you. Our course is decided. I shall return to the palace and have my ministers begin working on implementing the particulars of the plan. If I could prevail upon you one more time, Kaharu, I would ask that you convey the details of our negotiations to Commander Hext on your return to Alamigo. My thanks again. Together we have laid the groundwork for an endeavor which promises to benefit the people of Alamigo and Ul'dah both. Yay! We did it, guys! We're doing good politics. I think. Possibly. Lise! Kaharu, you're back! What an animal! Oh, sorry. Are you allowed to talk about your audience with the Sultana? So, Raban says he's going to return to Ul'dah, but she isn't so sure he wants to. Tell us something we don't know, but I'm pleased to hear she's committed to helping our refugees come home. And this plan to revitalize the Sultry does make a lot of sense. Quite how you convinced her to seek Lolorito's help is another question. After all that has happened, he is the very last person I would expect her to turn to for advice. Okay, but to be fair, he stopped the assassination by tricking Teleji Adeleji and putting her to sleep until things had calmed down. To be fair, he is still a slimy asshole, but he did stop an assassination. But on a more practical note, Lise, assuming the interim government elects to accept Ul'dah's proposal, I have one caveat I should like you to include in the bargain. Alamigo must be permitted to cover a portion of the investment. We have a fortune at our disposal, after all, and allowing Ul'dah to provide the entirety of the capital will afford Lolorito too much control. Honestly, Alphino, it's like Kugane never happened. What exactly does a ruthless profiteer have to do to earn your trust? But yes, you do make a good point. First things first, though, we need to discuss this proposal with the Sultry's residents. Muskar, how do you fancy explaining the Sultana's plan to your grandfather? I'd like to hear what Watt thinks of the idea before agreeing to anything. Right, Commander. Would you mind coming along, Kaharu? I might need you to fill in the details. Then I shall come as well. Should Watt wish to discuss figures, my knowledge of the nation's finances may prove useful. Here we go, over the wall. And the Sultry isn't too far from here, I don't think. I think that's it over there. it's too far away. Is that a building? Yes. Yes, the buildings are loading in. The buildings are loading in. Just watching everything just slowly load in. It's great. Okay, where are they? There they are. Hello! How are you? What manner of mischief brings you youngins to Olwalk this time, eh? They want to rebuild the Sultry, Grandad. Kaharu, tell them about the deal. Well, bugger me. We've never had the coin or the hands to put the place back to how it was. But it sounds like that's about to change. There's just one small wrinkle in your plan. It doesn't account for all the nasties queuing up to eat anyone who goes near the shore. The king used to send soldiers to kill the buggers, but the Imperials weren't about to help the likes of us. Don't worry, Grandad. We'll take care of all that. Commander Hext has been talking about starting up regular patrols, and I'm sure she'd assign me to the lock if I asked. I'd appreciate that, Liskar, my lad. I truly would. So, does this mean you've gotten better with that blade of yours? I've been training, but mostly to kill Imperials. You've some experience hunting monsters, don't you, Kaharu? Think you could cast an eye over a few of the local beasties in town and teach me how to deal with them? Yeah, I can do that. Let's not waste any time then. I'll see you by the lock. Whilst you are busy attending to the local fauna, I shall have Master Watt explain to me exactly what is required to restore the Sultry to its former glory. Good hunting. Woo! Right then, Kaharu, I've got a spyglass here you can use to take a closer look at these pests. Once you've got their measure, you can tell me what to do, and we'll see how well I get on. Okay. Yabbies. I believe it is their jaw. Their jaw. No, hold still. There we go. Did not want to hold still. The Yabby's entire body is protected by a hard carapace, but the underside of the head looks soft and vulnerable. Ah, looks like you found a Yabby. They say hitting their shells like smacking a rock. Any suggestions? Aim for the soft underside of the head. Vulnerable under the head, are they? Right then, wish me luck. Look at him go! Thanks, Kaharu. I did just as you told me, and the waifkin went down like a sack of potatoes. Let's find something else. I had to make sure I didn't actually say potato for some reason. There he is. I think I can handle the Yabbies now, so we should try something different. What else is out there? Ah, the full bad. The Phobad's hands are large and powerful, but destroying its crystallized core should render the Salt Golem inanimate. You sense power pulsating from behind its brow. Ugh, a Phobad. How do I defeat one of those? Destroy the core within its crown. Stab it inside its head, is it? I'll try to stab it right between the eyes then. Hey, it's all squishy now. Look at it. Look at how squishy it is. It's not easy fighting with the Liberator of Alamigo watching your every move, but I got the job done. Thanks for the advice, Kaharu. I feel a lot better prepared for my patrols now. Any road, we should head back to the Sultry before Granddad starts to worry I've snipped into pieces and fed to a Yabi's hatching. Okay. Whee! Hello, I returned. I see you've returned in one piece. Dealt with those beasties then, did you? I fought them myself, after a bit of instruction from Kaharu here, like. Once I've shared what I've learned with the others, we should have no trouble keeping the shoreline clear. Good lad. A fine young man you've become, Whiskar. A fine young man indeed. Too often of late, I hear tales of folk all over in the city, drunk on victory and hungry for revenge, their heads stuck firmly in the past. But we need to set our sights on the future, on things which will improve our lot. Things like getting the Sultry ready to welcome our long-lost countrymen. It seems Whiskar has the Sultry security well in hand. I, meanwhile, have discussed the next steps with Master Watt and completed my inspection of the site. With a little work, the vacant buildings here could be made into very presentable dwellings. Message from General Alden! Apologies for the interruption, miss, but the General would speak with you at your earliest convenience. Do not feel obligated to wait around on my account. I will remain here to hammer out the finer details with Watt and act as intermediary with our business partners in Ul'dah. You should go. General Alden asks that you wait for him by the main gate in the Alamigan Quarter. My apologies again, miss. Fare you well. Oh, we know what's about to happen, don't we? I could just tell right there, but I don't feel like being lazy. There we go. Alright, where are you? Here we are. Hello.
Apologies for the wait.
How you doing, Raubon?
People are screaming for the butcher's blood again.
Ugh.
No sooner have we broken up one mob than another forms. Thankfully, all have been amenable to reason, thus far. But it is no concern of yours. We must speak of the men Arenvald and his comrades apprehended in the peaks.
They did what?
By their uniforms, the captives were first judged to be Imperial troops. But after further investigation, their true identities came to light.
Please explain.
I dare say you remember Yu Hassi and Laurentius, the fugitives who conspired with Captain Ilberd in the Crystal Brave's betrayal.
Ooh, yes.
Aye, well, it would seem they followed him all the way to the wall. It was they who orchestrated the slaughter of the resistance fighters prior to the Griffin's infernal ritual.
Were it in your hands, how would you punish these men?
Execution is not the answer.
You would spare these animals. Yours is a more merciful brand of justice than mine. In any event, I thank you for your honesty. When the time comes for the Alliance to pass judgment, I'll see that your opinion is heard. Well, that concludes our business here. But there is more I would say. Walk with me.
Okie doke.
I bear a share of the blame for Ilberd's atrocities. Had I openly supported the cause of Alamegan liberation, he might not have felt driven to do what he did. Things could have been different, and I'm sorry they aren't.
Well, he couldn't have known what he was going to do.
But even after all that has happened, my homeland is free. With the Scions and the Alliance at their side, my countrymen have reclaimed what many thought lost forever. Under her new leadership, I have every confidence that Alamigo will emerge from the shadow of the Empire and rise once more to greatness. Which means my work here is done. Soon I will return to Uldar and take my place at the Sultana's side.
Father...
I'll not deny there's a part of me that wants to stay. The same part that contemplated renouncing my rank and joining you as a wandering sellsword. But I pledged my blade to Nanamo, and I will not betray that oath.
Is this truly what you want, Father?
It is. Ever has my sword been hers to command, and ever shall it remain. Thank you for lending an ear. When all the rest are clamoring for me to stay, I trust you'll send me on my way.
That took longer than I intended, but at least you know where I stand. Now that's settled. Ehrenfeld, what news? We may have a problem, sir. A group of Anata arrived at the main gates, and I don't mean the Vira. These are Kaliana, the ones that summoned the Primal. They're insisting they be allowed to attend the council. Lise is trying to reason with them, but she may need help. An invitation was extended to all the native beast tribes. Oh, bless me. But we assumed the Kaliana would refuse it out of hand. We had best go and see for ourselves. Pippin, take command of our forces and ready for battle. Kaharu, you've dealt with these Kaliana before. I'll have you at my side. Up. Up we go. Up over the wall. Away! Kaharu, Raubon! God, it's good to see you. The Slayer has come. We have not forgotten how you sinned against the Lady of Bliss, but we did not come here to shed blood. You claim to seek harmony with all who call Girabania home. If this is truly your wish, you will welcome us as envoys of the Ananta. It is our wish, and you are welcome, but we cannot condone the summoning of primals. If you want to enter the palace, I must ask that you first surrender any crystal jewelry. You have my word that it will be all returned to you when the meeting is over. We will do as you ask, but you will not have our weapons. We are not so foolish as to place ourselves entirely at the mercy of our tormentors. I reckon that's the closest we're going to get to a compromise, and we will have people standing guard. Aye, let them keep their swords. Then we have an agreement. Lead the way to your meeting chamber. Why do I have the feeling we've welcomed a viper into our midst? Equip these, because I think they're better. Yep. They're better than I was holding. Oh, they're supposed to be flowers. That's interesting. This Kalyana elder's intentions seem at odds with all we know of her tribe. What think you, Kaharu? The enthralled cannot be trusted, honestly. Aye, it is said that once a creature has fallen under the sway of a primal, there is no salvation, and I strongly doubt that Kalyana have suddenly broken free of Lakshmi's will. Whatever the truth, I would take no chances. The guard must be strengthened, ideally with people who know a thing or two about primals. Can we rely on the Scions? Always. I'll round up our comrades and send them to the Alamegan quarter. You can go on ahead if you like, Kaharu. My thanks. I will see you in the palace. I think we all know what's about to happen here, don't we? Don't we? Yep. Yep. This is gonna be fun. Kaharu, I brought reinforcements. Enroll told me of the arrival of your unexpected guests, and I agreed that it would be prudent to call upon Y'shtola and Thancred as well. One can never be too careful in dealing with the enthralled. I am not familiar with the Kalyana tribe myself, but Alize's report suggested that they shunned contact with other races. Despised it, in fact, even compared to the other Ananta. Indeed, this apparent reversal in attitude is most curious. No one expected a response to our invitation, much less an envoy, and I imagine Lise was forced to make some rather hasty arrangements in order to accommodate them. Speaking of which, should we deploy ourselves? If the meeting is to be held in the throne room, it would seem wise to have eyes both inside and outside the palace. Y'shtola and I can stand guard without. That leaves the three of you to keep watch over proceedings in the throne room itself. Understood. We should join General Alden inside then. Kaharu, do you know of the rear entrance to the palace? It's on the eastern edge of the city, at the top of the stairs. The guard there should have been instructed to let us pass. You're the Silence Miss? General Alden left orders that you were to be escorted inside, if you'll follow me. Let's go!
Thank you all for coming. I am Lise Hext, and I speak for the Resistance. Among you are village elders, refugee leaders, envoys from the Ananta and the Kikern. You've come from every corner of Girabania to help decide the future of Alamigo. But before that, I want to ask you a question. What was the first thing you noticed when you came in? For me, it was that empty throne. It has no one to sit on it now. No viceroy, no king. Would any of you like to take their place? Or should someone else sit there? Then let's sit here in a circle, as equals, and I hope, as friends.
Expertly done. Lise has removed monarchy as a choice early in the game, and positioned them to consider a joint government. All things considered, I would say events have got off to a fine start.
Don't jinx it, Alpha now.
And that is Alagana's stance on the matter.
Thank you, Ragenford. Another vote in favor. Next, let's hear from Shanti of the Kaliana. Tell us, how do your people feel about the idea of a republic?
The Ananta wish only that those who dwell within Gir Abania devote themselves to our faith.
Yeah, here we go.
You shall all worship Sri Lakshmi! Lady of Bliss, grace us once more with your beauteous visage!
There we go. Of course.
This can't be happening. No crystals were allowed through the door.
We can worry about the how of it later. We need to evacuate these people right now, or the Primal will make thralls of them all.
It's up to us.
Go, go, go.
Gods damn it! The guards were already turned! Fools!
No, you don't!
The Kaliana would see us all enthralled.
Then they're going to be sorely disappointed. We have the Warrior of Light and Arenvold to shield us.
Aye, but they can't well defend your guests and attack the Primal, can they? We're stuck on the back foot.
All right, I think I have an idea. Keep these people safe, General. I'll be back as soon as I can.
Nice.
Yeah, whatever she's about, she'd best make it quick. Come then. Who will be next to die on my steel?
Alright. This is why you don't let thralls into these kinds of meetings, Lise. How do we fight her without leaving our allies wide open? We can't stay on the back foot forever. No, damn it. If I think like that, we've already lost. I have the Warrior of Light on my side. We can do this. Isn't that right, Kaharu? Let's go. Arenvold, be my friend. Stop it.
Why, I offer you peace and serenity.
Go away. We don't want you. Arenvold, you're standing in the middle of it. Nope, no, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Oh god, oh lord. Ah! No. Yeah, those. Oh dear, oh lord, oh lord. Stop it!
I shall free you from your hate!
Oh dear. Oh god. No, there's too many. No, I don't like this. No, no, stop it. Stop it.
Damn it all! It's only a matter of time before we miss one.
What of it? Do you want to kill this thing or not?
Hello, Verdola. Like friends, please. Thank you. Go, Raubon, go! Go, Raubon, go! Thank you, Alpha, no! I do that too. Just like that. Shoot, shoot, shoot! Go. Run! Run! Oh dear. We got this. I just wasted my dance! Alicia, you made me waste my dance! How dare you! How dare you waste my dance? Do you know how long that one takes to cool down? That one takes forever to cool down. You just wasted it. How dare you waste that dance? Okay, I can still have this dance at least.
Do not your souls weigh heavy?
Shut up, Locksteed. No one cares. Well, Cordola, you okay? No, please, no! Bad, please! Cordola needs friends. And I can finally do the dance you decided to interrupt. Thank you. So rude. Cordola? Come on, guys. We gotta murder her. Yeah.
We did it! We beat her!
What is this?
I'm only gonna say this once. The Ananta just summoned their primal in the throne room. My friends are fighting her, but they need help. They need someone with the Echo, and by the gods, I wish I had it, but I don't. I told you before that you still had time, but things have changed. I need your answer now. You can end it like Xenos, or you can fight for Alamigo. Your choice.
Seven hells. It's her, the Butcher.
It's done. Take me back to my cell.
You are not forgiven. Not you. You I will never forgive. But I will thank you. For standing against a primal and saving us from servitude. You have my thanks.
No. No. Well fought, Gaharu, Ehrenwald. That was a near thing. Aye, our stand against the Kaliana would have been brief indeed had you not volunteered for guard duty. We'd be enthralled surely as our sentries were. They must have planned this far in advance. Security was my responsibility, and I know how dangerous primals can be. I should have... It's my fault. My stupid mistake. Nay, lass, we're all caught unawares. We will take this as a lesson and watch our own more carefully in the future. You can be sure that the lackeys who smuggled the crystals into the throne room weren't the only thralls in our ranks. The soldier who first spoke up in favor of the Kaliana keeping their weapons spring to mind. A primal servant is betrayed by his aura. If you mean to conduct an investigation, I can identify any others acting under Sri Lakshmi's influence. Thank you, Y'shtola. We'd appreciate the help. Speaking of help, I almost fell over when Fordola turned up. What was she even doing here? I asked her to come. Well, that explains it then. It's sad, but Regan Frid was right. Her victims will never forgive her for what she's done. But I don't think Fordola picked up that sword looking for forgiveness. She wanted to fight for her country. If you say the world in which Fordola grew up was partly to blame for what she became, then as an Alamegan, I feel responsible for improving that world. We can't ignore what's happening right now. We have to show people a better way than vengeance, or we risk giving birth to a new generation of skulls. I know it's idealistic, but I want to help people to let go of their old grievances and make peace with each other. And I'll hold 1,000 meetings and talk till I'm blue in the face if that's what it takes. It's a long and arduous path you have chosen, but one well worth walking. Rest assured that I will do what I can to help you reach your destination. Thank you, Alpha now. The first step will be to get our representatives back in the throne room. They're a little shaken, but not one of them seemed ready to run. We're all determined to finish what we started. I will see that you're not interrupted. Gaharu, you and the Scions are to stand down. Get some rest. You've earned it. Oh, that happened.
A fine spot to contemplate the heavens. The meeting is over. The envoys have chosen to instate a government model on Ishgard's House of Commons, a ruling body of representatives elected by the people. It is a fair decision, and one which signals the end of my part in all this. But I would gaze upon Girabania's stars one last time before I leave. Forget something? Your Grace, there was no word.
Raubon Aldin, you are hereby dismissed as General of the Immortal Flames and relieved of your seat on the Syndicate.
But, Your Grace...
Raubon, I am no longer a child. Stay here in your homeland. Work with your brethren. Rebuild Alamigo.
You desire to stand alone. I understand, but remember what happened.
I remember full well the consequences of my naivety, and thus did I consult at length with a most trusted advisor ere I embarked upon this course.
A most trusted advisor? And what of me? Am I no longer deserving of your confidence?
What trust can there be between us when you withhold the truth from me? Did you think me oblivious to the anguish in your eyes when you spoke of returning to Uldar? For years and years, we have trusted one another. Yet now you refuse to confess your heart's desire?
I swore an oath to you that day on the sands. I pledged my sword.
Raubon!
And it has served me well. But in Pippin you have forged a new sword, as sharp and deadly as the blade you bequeathed him. I will show you a Sultana who can wield every weapon at her disposal, including Lolorito and his monetarist cronies. So follow your heart, please. You are home. You are free.
Nanamo.
Oh.
Smile for me, Raubon. I would have this parting be a joyous one.
Thank you, Your Grace. It has been an honor to serve you and Uldar.
Tomorrow you will serve Alamigo and fight for the good of all Eorzea. Am I understood?
Yes, Your Grace.
Oh, so cute.
Thanks for shielding us from Lakshmi, you two. If you hadn't been there, the rest of us would be worshipping her by now.
You're kind to include me, Lise. But we both know who did most of the work. I could scarce keep track of the battle, let alone land a telling blow. No shame in admitting it. The Warrior of Light has put far better men than me in the shade.
Did I mention that I encountered the Sultana in the palace? It would seem Her Grace has come to Girabania to oversee the final stages of her relocation project. She was in search of General Oldin, and I directed her to the rooftop garden. I do hope he was still there.
Are you in the habit of gossiping about the affairs of royalty, Master Leveilleur?
Certainly not, Your Grace. I was merely informing my companions.
Be at ease, Alphino. 'Twas only a jest. But I must yield the floor to Raubon. He has an important announcement to make.
As of yesternight, I have been relieved of my post in the Immortal Flames and the Syndicate both.
I shall be assuming my father's duties. And may I say that Tizona has never felt heavier upon my back.
Twould seem I am in need of employment. Mayhap one of my old acquaintances can introduce me to a mercenary company or some such.
You may be getting on in years, father, but you'd struggle to find a band of sellswords who wouldn't snap your hand off. Your remaining hand.
Yes, the Bull of Alamigo need not be put out to pasture just yet.
Your Grace has developed a wicked edge to her humor, and you, Pippin, would do well not to laugh when the future may hold the same for you.
So, does this mean you're staying?
Aye. That seems to be the way of it. I would be glad to aid you in rebuilding our nation, if you'll have me.
If, he says. Welcome home, Raoban.
Yeah.
Well, that was unexpected. Though you seem distinctly unsurprised.
Oh, don't call me out like this, Alphino.
Either you are more astute than I give you credit for, or I'm losing my touch. In any event, one thing is certain. Alamigo will rejoice at the homecoming of her dearest son.
I think it's about time I head back to Ralgus Reach. What's next for all of you? At least I will be eager to hear recent events, so I shall join you, if you've no objections. I'd welcome the company. Kaharu, why don't you come along to the Reach as well, once you've said your farewells to Nanmo and the others? Yes! The menagerie! I can take screenshots there! The Royal Menagerie is very, very pretty, and I look forward to taking screenshots up there. It's gonna be great. Isn't that right, Midnight? Right, I can't fly in this place. Release. Well, here we are again. Alphino has regaled me with a thrilling tale of hidden treasure troves, mid-meeting betrayals, unlikely alliances, and joyous homecomings. It would seem I missed everything. I was patrolling the palace grounds with Penguin Y'shtola when we heard the report of a primal in the throne room. I honestly doubted my own ears. As the others have said, we're lucky to have our Echo-blessed companions nearby this time, but we'll need to keep a closer eye on the Kalyana. You can say that again. This whole episode has reminded me just how far apart our kind still are. It looks like centuries of fear and mistrust really can't be washed away in a day, but someone has to make an effort at reconciliation if these conflicts are ever going to end. Naturally, a lot of people are crying out for vengeance, but I've been doing my best to calm things down. Violent reprisals will only lead to more summonings. Indeed, Violence will ever beget violence, as the Empire has learned to its cost in recent times. In any case, summoning Lakshmi was the Broodmother's doing, and whoever replaces her might not be so keen on the idea. We'll just have to watch and wait. Which isn't to say we won't be putting the safety of our allies in the Vieira and M tribes first. I plan to have resistance scouts keep track of the Kalianis movements at all times. My parents will be relieved to hear that. What are your plans for the rest of the resistance army out of interest? Are we to prepare for Imperial counterattack? That would be a question for the Resistance's newest recruit, a military commander with far more experience than me. What? The Bull of Alamigo? We call it an army, but the Resistance is really a collection of smaller independent groups. And when Conrad passes command onto me, that authority only extended to the Freedom Fighters based at Novel's Reach. He just happened to be serving as a Resistance spokesman at the time, and needed someone to take over the role while everything was in disarray. But that time has passed. When I speak up with the other leaders about reforming the army under a new government, I will be nominating Raubon as the overall commander of our new forces. He has more experience than the rest of us put together, and we stand to learn a lot from him. Indeed, he is in all respects the ideal choice. Assuming he accepts the post, Alamigo will have added a formidable weapon to its arsenal. And given the progress of Nanamo's resettlement initiative, I see great cause for hope. The seeds which we so carefully sowed have begun to quicken, my friends. I like that. We tend to our promises and watch as Alamigo blooms. Gosetsu! I do give thanks to the kami that my makeshift raft withstood the fury of the seas. But their generosity ended. Without coins in our pockets for new attire, we are doomed to look like so much jetsam. Oh, woe betide the poor man in a city of rich merchants. These dango are delicious. Will you have one? More sweetbreads? I surrendered my blade to secure what few coins we have. Bah, 'tis like talking to a child. Why fate saddled me with this burden, I shall never know, but I am alive and I must return to my master's side. Come, Suyu. We shall find a ship to carry us across the Ruby Sea. Meanwhile, in the Imperial Palace... Have you heard the reports? First Doma, then Alamigo, and Lord Zeno's put to the sword. Do not believe everything you read. I hear the Viceroy was merely wounded, and that he has already returned to the capital. Naturally, the savages beat their chests and boast loudly of taking his head regardless. Nay, Lord Zenos lives? Deplorable that our own officers should be fooled by Eorzean misinformation. Small wonder the provinces have begun rising up in rebellion. We must prepare an official and above all accurate announcement to quell these pernicious rumors. They would wage war with empty words. Let them produce the Viceroy's remains then. We shall soon put the lie to their claims. Ah, I know who that is. I'm not saying shit though. Because that is something we get to deal with in patch 4.2. So there you go. That was patch 4.1. I might do another stream tomorrow just to get through the Evil East raids because I know it's supposed to be a throwback to the Tactics series, but I don't like the Evil East raids. The story is interesting. The raids are a pain in the ass. So I might do the Evil East raids tomorrow just to get them out the way, get them done. I don't have to think about them anymore. And then Friday we'll do the Mass Effect stream as per usual, and then maybe on Monday we will do the Omega raids, because that's something that we still have to do as well. But until then, thank you for everyone who swung by to watch. Thank you for everyone who was chatting with me while I played. And I will see you all in the next stream. Bye!